Hi, friends. Amanda Harris here. I'm here to talk to you today about this little book. It's probably going to be backwards. The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines. Between 2020 and 2025, I 3x'd my annual income following the advice that she had, the spiritual laws, the spiritual advice, the spiritual suggestions that she had in this book. So that this video idea has been driving me crazy for weeks and weeks and weeks, and so I decided today just to get something on film, even if I don't make good eye contact with the camera, even if I don't have a good script. So I really just have some notes here that I'm going to go over the video, the book with you guys, and maybe I'll make it better, a more polished, more product production value, higher production value video later. So, and I'm going to tell you about the book, how I applied it to my life, and now why in 2025, now 5 years later, I'm revisiting it with new eyes and a new intention. So, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity is written by a woman named Edwin Gaines. I really like Edwin. If you get a chance, look her up on the YouTubes. She's a native Texan like me. She was a victim of extreme abuse as a child. She was a single mother raising her daughter in poverty, and started following a spiritual path, and I meant to look this up and I forgot if she's still alive or not, but extremely wealthy, extremely prosperous. She's a Unity church pastor. I'm not sure if she's still in Texas or not. I believe she said she had like a place in Georgia. I don't remember for sure. In any event, she wrote this little book, and I've actually just recently bought this hardcover copy off of thriftbooks.com. They didn't sponsor this video. But I originally, so I'm not sure, some of them have a different little logo on the front, or a little picture of the image on the front there, so I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get into it. So Edwin said, first she says, what is prosperity? And here on page 2, she talks about prosperity being 4 things: a vitally alive physical body to provide a comfortable worldly home for the spiritual beings that we are. Short version, health. Okay. Relationships that are satisfying, nurturing, honest, and work all the time. So great relationships. Work that we love so much, it's not work, it's play. And for all the money we can spend. So that's Edwin's version of prosperity. And she says that there are 4 things that we need to do. And I'm going to skip one in the book and come back to it because I believe it's the hard. I want you guys to actually watch this video. And I believe that one is pretty hard for a lot of people to swallow. So I'm going to go to her second law of prosperity and then come back to one. So the second one is to set goals. She says, in order for us to know where we're going, we need to have goals and write them down. And it's okay if they seem materialistic. They might be materialistic. It might be to lose weight. It might be to have a better relationship, or it might be, she talks about wanting to go on a trip to Mexico. She talks about wanting to have a pink Cadillac, and that those goals, whatever your goals are, not to judge them and just to let them be. And she has a multi-step process. Step 1, write those goals down, or your desires, and then number 2, choose like 10 or 12 that are the most important to you. Number 3 is something that I think some of us fail to consider what changes you might need to make in order to achieve your goals. Right. So if the goal is to make more money, maybe I need to start spending less, or earning more income. What kind of changes do I need to make to get these goals? Step 4, choose a date by which you desire to achieve each goal. I really struggle with this one. I feel like it's kind of like putting a timeline on the universe or on God. But she says, set the time frame. And then if you get to the time frame and you don't have it, maybe you needed to go back to 3 and consider what changes you need to make, right? And talk to the universe, or talk to God, or look within and say, maybe I didn't get the thing in the time frame that I wanted because I didn't take the necessary steps, right? She said, read your list of goals at least 3 times every day, morning and night, every morning and every night. I don't think I did that, but that's what she suggests. Imagine yourself achieving your goals, kind of, law of assumption-y type thing. Act as if you already have achieved your goals. Don't tell others. I have a hard time with that. Anyone who knows me knows that. Keep your goals private between you and God. Step 9, cross off the goals as they are achieved and add new ones, right? We want to keep evolving as we achieve our goals. Step 10, remember God's highest law is love. So the way that I did this in 2020, whenever I first bought this book, was I really wanted to make more money and have a better work experience. My work was very stressful at that time. I was actually running for local office and I lost. But I knew that I wanted to make more money. I wanted to pay off my debt. I owed the IRS a lot of money and I owed a lot of money in student loan debt. So, I had some other things like, having a beautiful home, a beautiful office, travel, which, travel I wanted to go on a beach vacation to Puerto Rico, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But at that time, as a single woman, it was a little intimidating for me. So those were some of my goals. So there's a lot more in this book than I'm going to have time to give to you all. But number two is be sure to set goals. So number 3 in the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity is forgive, self and others. She talks a lot. She has some techniques in here, some daily practices of how to forgive, some affirmations. What this often looked like for me, I'm a 12 stepper, so I know about saying the sick man's prayer. God help me remember that this other person is sick and that they're not really trying to hurt me. Thinking of them, the same way if I saw someone who was physically handicapped, just remember that this person might be mentally and emotionally handicapped, and that's why they hurt me. A really good prayer for forgiveness is, or prayer or affirmation, right? God, help me see this person the way you see them, right? And it just floods my mind and my heart and my body with compassion for them. Man, they are hurting and that's why they're lashing out at me. I feel compassion for them. They are going to push away everyone who loves them. Forgiving myself. I did a lot of self-forgiveness work and I still continue that. One of my favorite techniques there is I wrote a letter to myself whenever I was in the worst of my worst period of my life, writing a letter to myself, not only forgiving her, but thanking her. My therapist said one time, she said, Amanda, what do you think would have happened if you didn't do those things? So I probably would have hurt myself or hurt someone else. And when I say hurt, I mean really bad. And she said, so those coping strategies, even though they weren't that good, they saved you, right? Said, yes. So not only forgiving that part of that version of myself for all of the things that she did, but thanking her for, taking care of me the best way she knew how. If you've ever done any parts work, I like to think of it as that teenage version of me who like a parentified child almost, trying to take care of me, but she didn't have the skills necessary to do so. Forgiveness. Forgive people who hurt you. There's a lot of really great books about forgiveness, and just really keeping forgiveness in mind whenever those feelings and thoughts come up about those people who've wronged you. She also talks about reframing in here. What did that teach me? What did that bad thing teach me? What did that? How did it help me become the person I am today? Right. I have a prayer that I often say that says, thank you for this challenge. It's growing me into the woman I'm meant to be. More on that in just a little. The 4th spiritual law of prosperity is finding and pursuing your divine purpose, right? So what does that mean? Not everyone is going to quit their corporate job and start teaching yoga, or, quit their job and become a coach, or go into the ministry. divine purpose, she talks about here on page 194 is following your joy. What brings you joy? And I think that this can happen in many ways. The way it happened for me in 2020 was I felt like I already had my divine purpose. My day job was the job that I dreamed of having as a child, right? Or probably a teenager. But part of it for me was remembering that and lavishing in it, marinating in, and wow, this is the job that I was called to do and that I get to do to help others. Instead of, oh my God, these annoying people are awful. I hate them. Right. Which usually it was half and half. Sometimes it was, but having that attitude of gratitude, call a true purpose with the people who were annoying me too. Right. My assistant, whenever we have a client who's we're struggling with, I usually say, don't forget, this was our dream job. And and I think that, even if you have a job that you're not happy with, you can pursue your divine purpose. I had a friend who liked to coach Kids Inc. Sports on the side. He didn't feel like he was fulfilling a divine purpose in his kind of corporate job. But did that to help him feel more fulfilled, right? Or maybe it's just spreading love and light in your job. If it's not, bringing that attitude of spirituality and love wherever you are, including work, right? So more on that. So let's get to one. Be prepared. You're watching this video because you have a spiritual mindset, because you believe in a little bit of the woo-woo. And so please open your mind and just consider it. Just consider it. And there's going to be some more good stuff in the end. Don't forget why I'm revisiting the book in 2025. If you stop watching now, you're going to miss this part. Okay. So the first spiritual law of prosperity is to tithe 10% of your income to the place where you get your spiritual food. And if you attend church, that's easy. You probably give it to your church. Edwene talks about giving her tithe to her massage therapist sometimes. Edwene talks about giving her tithe to a waitress in a diner who gave her some information. I'm a member of a 12-step group for ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics, and I attend phone meetings several times a week, and I give 10% of my income to that. I've also given a tithe to, I used to watch a lot of YouTube tarot card readings. I've backed off a little, but there was several times where I felt like I heard something that I needed to hear that came straight from beyond. And I sent my tithe to her. I sent a tithe. I've sent tithes to the Louise Hay Foundation, because I've read in her books things that I believed helped me in a spiritual way. So I know it's a big deal. I know it's a big deal. Maybe commit to doing it for a short amount of time, like 3 months. Maybe commit to 5%. And she addresses this. What can I give to charity? She says it's really a separate thing than tithing, and that tithing is where you get your spiritual food, and charity is something else. It's a gift to those in need. But I think it's important to start somewhere. And if that feels good to you, then I say have at it. So that was easy for me, like I said. So why am I revisiting this book in 2025? I'm revisiting this book because it worked so good. It worked so freaking good that now that I'm struggling in another area of my life, I'm like, wait a minute. So she said, so I 3x my income. My business is booming. I have a beautiful practice where I feel like I help others. I enjoy my work has become more efficient and fun and enjoyable. Even the hard days aren't nearly as hard as they used to be. But Edwene talks about prosperity as including relationships, and I've been single for quite some time now, and it is a pain point for me. I feel I want a partner to share my life with, and so coming back to this book. And I wrote a list of goals a few days ago, and I put have a healthy relationship this year. And there's part of me that is very scared about that. So that number two, writing down the goals, right? And she, what kind of actions might I need to take to achieve this goal? Well, one is definitely getting out there more. I am dressed up today because I'm going to a speed dating event tonight instead of poker. I would really much rather be going to play poker, but I'm going to go to a speed dating event and get out there where single people are. Right? I'm not really sure where single people. Surely they're there. Another thing that I need slash want to do to achieve this goal is to have a better attitude about men. I've become jaded in my years of dating, my years in my marriage, and it's real hard sometimes to have a positive attitude. And so I've really been working on that. I know that there are good men out there. I haven't had an opportunity to be in a relationship with one yet. Oh, there's one. But I just don't know if he was ready. In any event, just really trying to, because I want a man with a growth mindset, a man who's into personal development and spirituality and wants to be his best version, right? Not one that says, sorry, this is just who I am. That is not my deal. And there are men out there like that. I know because I see them. I see them in different places, right? The other reason why I've revisited this book, because even though it worked so well in forgiveness, getting back into forgiveness work, because people will. I've done a lot of forgiveness, but then I stopped because I think I'm done, right? But the truth is, people continue to hurt us, and we have to continue to forgive, and just remembering that they're doing the best that they can, and that all of these experiences that the universe brings me, God brings me, are designed to help me grow and be the person that I'm meant to be, and to share this information with others, right? Divine purpose. I was making videos last year. I wanted to have a coaching business, and I still kind of do, really. But I wanted to have a coaching business, and I was making videos last year. Probably through August or maybe through July. And while I didn't make a single dime coaching last year, I did. Is that true? Did I have some low cost? I did not get any clients from my YouTube channel. I'll say that. Even though I was making more money at the office. And I believe it's because I was pursuing my divine calling. I don't think we always reap where we sow. I'm not sow here and reap over here. And I think that I believe that's part of the reason why I'm making this video. Full disclosure, I'm really hoping I'll just make some more money this month. Kidding, half kidding. In any event, I want to try to get back into making more videos and sharing information with you guys, maybe in this style, because the editing and the gifts and the it can get really bogged down. And if somebody needs to see it, they'll see it. If they don't, they don't. And views are not that important. So thank you all for watching. I know this got a little long, but maybe you can watch it on 1.5 speed. Love you guys. Talk soon. Bye-bye.